Good evening and welcome to the Historic Commission meeting. Today is where am I at? Tuesday, June 17th. It's now 5 p.m. Call the meeting to order. Brian, would you do the roll call, please?
Yes. Dale Griffith.
Here.
Mitchell Goff.
Here.
Jim Terrell.
Here.
Jake Conrad.
Here.
Jason Klingeman. Nancy Kramers.
Here.
Randall Hansen.
Here.
6 present, you have a quorum.
Thank you. And since we are in a different location, if anybody has any questions, I'm going to ask you to really speak up since we don't have microphones right in front of us. So moving on to, a little different here. Comments from the public.
Yeah, we don't have the...
Brian, do we have any comments that were sent in today?
We do not.
Okay. Moving on to item number 4, approval of minutes of the June 3rd, 2025 regular meeting as presented. Is there a motion to accept the minutes?
I move we accept the minutes as presented.
Is there a second?
I second.
Thank you. All those in any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. All right, moving on to new business. Review of Certificate of Appropriateness 2025-03, 319 South Wisconsin Street. Mitch and Jim, this is you.
Yeah. So the property, as you can sort of see laid out here before us, suffered some pretty substantial fire damage up on the upper floor, attic, and around the roof area. So of course repairs need to be made. Windows up there need to be replaced. And the decision was made to switch out the chimney for an updated chimney that will very much, in all places possible, replicate the chimney that is presently there. There are some small alterations. That one is full brick. The other will have a brick covering around a separate material, as well as it will have an aluminum cap on the top. But this chimney, as we see right here, is not very heavily used by the home's basic utilities. And after the changeover will be made, it will not handle any utilities whatsoever. So it will more or less be a kind of aesthetic piece to maintain the character, the exterior character of the home as it currently is after all of the fixes have been made. And additionally, the other major alteration that's going to be made is the roof structure is going to be lifted to allow for a bit more headroom, interior space in the attic. But exterior will only be impacted in a few small inches that will be covered with some external, seeing what this material is, polyurethane material. So all in all, not that substantial of a change as far as the exterior goes. Some obviously necessary updates and changes are to be made to account for the fire damage and to make some improvements that will allow for the continued healthy habitation of the property for hopefully generations to come. So anything more to add there, Jim?
No, you covered everything. It's just, it was a March fire? Was it March? April 4th. Substantial fire. And they're putting it back the way it was and restoring it. As Mitch said, the only thing changed that you will see and notice is the band board now that you see at the house below the soffit is about a 3-inch band board, and that'll be about a foot. And it's similar to what's on a lot of other houses in the neighborhood. It'll just look a little bit bigger and give them that much more headroom inside because the entire roof structure has to come off the house because it's compromised.
Okay. Any other questions? either for the owners or are you with Paul Davis?
Paul Davis
Yes,
representing this.
okay.
I have a question, looking at the view. Is the wood stove chimney going back? Thank you.
That was a no.
Yes, that was, yeah, there's no, they shook the owners and the contractor shook their heads no.
So that's the southern part?
That's the stainless steel, the
Okay.
aluminum capped and round thing you see through the roof. Was a wood burner or a wood stove in the third floor, the walk-up third floor?
No, the wood stove was on the ground floor.
On the ground floor, so, okay, so the all the way up through the second and the third. And that'll be gone, good.
Correct.
Any other questions? Okay. Is there a slide with the motion on it? So if someone would like to make one of the three suggested motions?
I move to find that the proposed project meets the criteria for granting a certificate of appropriateness.
Okay, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Any other further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor of finding that the COA of 2025-03 meets the criteria for granting a certificate of appropriateness, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, so moved. Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving on to item 2, review certificate of appropriateness 2025-05, 18 Sinclair Street. That was myself and Nancy. Nancy, do you want to jump in?
No, I'll let you lead the discussion. I'm the new person.
So,
Thank you.
Thank you.
we met this morning at the property, and as I told Talis, that the proposal was very clear on what they're planning on doing here, of repairing the outside of the window repairs, and how they're going to rebuild the exterior woodwork on 12 of the windows using composite materials. There are 9 windows on the turret in the front of the home that you see here, and the window located above the front porch closest to the roof. And then there are 2 first floor windows located on the bump out at the right side of the house. And then I think there was also maybe one in the...
Yes, so we're just gonna be changing the plinth blocks on a couple
Yes.
of windows in the rear of the home. I don't think we're gonna be rebuilding the woodwork completely because it wasn't in that bad a shape.
Right, okay. It seemed like it was a pretty clear-cut job across the board, so is there anything else, Nancy, you want to add?
So I didn't quite hear what you said, Telos. Did we end up with 13 windows or the 12?
So we're gonna be replacing the woodwork completely on 13 or 12 windows on the home, and then in the rear of the home, there's a couple busted plinth blocks or the rosettes that we're gonna be replacing. Other than that, we're not gonna be rebuilding all the woodwork on the back windows. We're just gonna be making some minor repairs,
Okay.
but they'll be just like the front. It'll be all in kind replacement.
Got it. I wasn't sure where we ended up this morning after that discussion.
Sure.
Thank you.
I have a question.
Yes.
Your application states you're gonna use PVC or composite.
So it'll be AZEK is what we're gonna use.
Thank you.
And can you explain what that is?
It's a PVC board. It's, as opposed to putting like 3/4 pine or cedar on there, it's just PVC.
Okay.
You're gonna follow, are you gonna use AZEK brand?
Yes.
Because some of the big boxes, I'm sure it's just gonna stay white now, but they don't hold paint worth a darn.
No, and AZEK does.
AZEK is the only one that'll hold paint, if
Yep.
it chooses to be painted. at
So
some
we're
time.
gonna be painting it the same paint scheme as it is
Okay.
now. So yeah, we're gonna be using the AZEK because it does take that heat well. Yeah.
Smooth side or grain side out?
Smooth side.
Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah. He explained all of that this morning, so.
Yeah, I think the wood grain side
Yeah.
looked a little tacky on there.
Not in that neighborhood, no.
Yeah.
And Tillis, would you like to tell the group about I thought the detail that you're gonna do on those little rosettes
So
is interesting.
The only difference that there's gonna be on the rosettes is I couldn't find the rosette cutter that's exactly the same one as the original, so it's gonna be, the profile on the rosette's gonna be a little different, but it's not really gonna be noticeable. So you'd have to really get up close to it to really be able to tell.
And I suppose more a matter of my own edification. The windows on the turret, are there any curvature to the glass in those windows?
No.
No?
No, and we're not replacing any of the windows or the storms or anything
Right,
like that.
right. But I know curved windows are sort of a rarity to
Mhm.
see, so, if there's any situation where they're removed and put back in, where there's a potential where they might break. But if they're not curved, they are
No.
much easier to address in that case, so thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, can we have the motion? Thank you. Can we-
I'll make the motion. I move to find that the proposed project meets the criteria for granting a certificate of appropriateness.
Thank you. We have a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. So we have a motion. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor of finding that this proposed project, 2025-05, 18 Sinclair Street, meets the criteria for granting a certificate of appropriateness, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, so moved. Thank you.
Big folks.
Moving on to item number 6, old business. Do we have an update? It's on the Tallman Arts Festival.
Yes, so we have an updated schedule for staffing the Historic Commission's booth at the Tallman Arts Festival. This is based upon information that the commission members have sent to Allison in our office. And so I guess what we're looking for from you today is whether you have any corrections or further changes that you'd like to make here. And that's not to say that this is the last opportunity. It's very informal, so things can change certainly, but just to show you that this is what we have currently, and if we need to make any changes, it would be good to know.
Jim, did you say you were going to be working on the easels?
Yes,
Okay.
I did,
All right.
and I will. The day before, most likely.
Just so that everybody is up to date, the storyboards that we have, I have received the files, and the format that they're in is in Photoshop, so they're PSD files. And I personally don't own a Photoshop account, but Jim is going to check with his daughter-in-law,
Correct.
who may have it and will be able to assist us in getting those few changes, and then hopefully, I don't know how they would be printed off, or how that ends up being, but I know we can do stuff at Office Max,
Yeah.
very, very inexpensively, so, okay. And how much were we selling the guides for last year? Was it $2?
$2.
Yeah, I think it was $2. Yeah, okay.
The other thing to note, also related to the Tallman Arts Festival, is that I don't think it was your most recent meeting, but at a recent meeting with the Historic Commission, we talked about the street addressing map dating back to 1907, when the street addresses in the city were reconfigured. We do have a large-scale print of the map in front of us there on the table. We've got smaller copies that I can hand out here to everybody. I recall that the commission discussed and potentially desired to have a copy of this at the booth at the Tallman Arts Festival as something that folks can look at and talk about. So I wanted to bring that, and then I guess if there is a desire to have perhaps the larger scale map, if someone's willing to or perhaps even has a frame that they could put that into for purposes of the Tallman Arts Festival, we're happy to send that with any of you this evening, or conversely, we can hold on to it for now until a later date.
We really didn't, I mean, that really wouldn't even necessarily need to go in a frame as much, it just needs to be attached to a foam board.
Yeah, I thought we could have it
Yeah.
just mounted on the phone.
Well, actually, we could just take that and have them print it off on the foam board. So,
Sure.
I mean, that I think would be easy enough to do.
Yeah, I will take that
Okay,
on there. So is there an electronic copy?
Yes, we will send that to you.
Okay.
I guess I don't know if it's in JPEG format, but something similar to that.
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, that won't be a problem at all.
Yeah, because this one will definitely be easier to look at.
What?
For my old days. Thank you, Brian, for sharing this with us. This is great. Any other questions about the Arts Festival? Have you heard anything from them yet?
We do have confirmation of the commission's registration. We haven't heard anything yet in terms of the booth that we've been assigned or exactly where that will be on the campus.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. Any other questions about Tallman Arts Festival?
Just to be clear, are we wanting to have this top portion other than the name or the date? I'm sorry.
That's not, oh, yes, it
It
is.
is on
It
there.
is on there, yeah. Well, I would think to have, just do the whole thing,
Okay.
yeah. 1907, okay. All right. Very good. Moving on to item number 7, the Historic Commission announcements. Remember, announcements are limited to member activities, memorials, and non-political community events. Discussion of matters related to governmental business is prohibited. Are there any announcements?
Did you want to cover the online training?
Oh, I am
discussion?
sorry. I just skipped right over that. So, thank you. All right, yes, let's go back. Old business number 2. So, did anybody have any questions about Chapter 3? Community benefits of preservation. Don't all talk at once, please. Okay. Hearing none. My suggestion would be for the next, for our next meeting is to review Chapter 5, Preservation Commission operations. Starting a Preservation Commission, we've already established that, and when I skimmed over it, there's really nothing, I mean, please feel free to read every chapter, but like I said, there was only like, four or so chapters that I really felt were very applicable to the work that we do here on a regular basis. And so, reviewing Chapter 5, I did take a look at that today, and there's some good information in there for us to be fully cognizant of. I'll get the word out. Okay, so homework, Chapter 5, all right. Thank you, all right. Sorry, moving back then to item number 7, are there any announcements? Okay, hearing none. Our next scheduled meeting is Tuesday, July 1st. Brian, do you think we will be back in the chambers?
Yes,
By
as
that
far as
point-
I know, we'll be back in the council chambers. This should be the only meeting that's affected by the board
Okay.
review.
All right, thank you. All right, do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
Thank you. Any discussion? All right, we are adjourned, 5:19 PM. Thank you.